What's up, everybody? Hope you're all doing well. And if you're in the market for a four-door car that's comfortable, has all the technology you could possibly want at the best price you can get, you might want to look at the Kia Optima. Alright guys, I know this is a little different than the Nova or the muscle cars that I'm used to doing videos on, but you know, there's always a need for an everyday car or a daily driver. So that's why I'm going to bring you this Kia Optima. This one is a 2013, and actually it's my wife's car. So I can give you first-hand experience on it, my thoughts, and go figure it's starting to rain on me. So I'm just going to have to deal with it. I think these are great looking cars. You get a little bit of sporty look, a little bit of classy. This one's actually an LX model. She had to have black, so she got black. And I think it looks really good. Just got done washing it, and that's probably why it's going to rain on me. The interiors of these cars are beautiful. It's got really nice leather seats. These things are great. They're super comfortable. Lots of bolstering. The padding is super soft. I've actually taken this car on a 5 and 6 hour road trip from Pennsylvania to Ohio, and we are completely comfortable the entire time. And that's always very important when you have kids, because you don't want them to be uncomfortable, because they will kick and scream and just be annoying. Door panels are really nice. It's got really nice leather padding all through the side here. Right here on the elbow rest is also well padded. It's got this really pretty wood grain panel around all the buttons. It's got a nice little cubby hole down here and cup holders. And you got your little button here. Brings your mirrors in. And it's a little squeaky. Ain't that something? Do it again, bring it out. That's always good for parking in tight spaces. The one thing you're gonna absolutely love about this car, memory seats. If you gotta share this car with anyone, like I do, my wife, you have memory seats for each of you. You don't have to sit there and readjust the seat multiple different times, because it has, I believe, 8-way or more adjustable seating in every which possible direction you can want this thing to move. So all I have to do is come over here, click number 2 since she's the primary driver, and bam, it goes right to where I need it. The interior of this car is really nice. I like how the angle on the center dash is a little bit toward the driver. That way you feel like it's really driver focused. I mean, I'm not sure, lack of better terms here. It's very driver focused with the way it's angled just a little bit. Not much, but just a little bit. It's got a nice little leather wrapped shift cover here. A little bit of leather here on the shift knob as well. The steering wheel is very nice. It's got a little bit of leather wrapping on that. Just overall, it's really nice interior. Soft touch all the way across the top. Leather wrapped across the center console here. That's all leather. And everything is very well finished. It's very well. There's no knocks. There's no rattles. It's just really well put together. I'll start it up here for you. Got your push button start here. Your little Kia Motors welcoming sign. Your touch screen. It's a pretty good sized touch screen. I've got no arguments with it. Dash, you got a nice little cluster here. And obviously I need to put washer fluid in it, but that's okay. That's been on for a little while actually. One thing she had to have with this car is navigation. So that's what we did. We got navigation. So basically you push your map voice, you got that, you've got your satellite radio, you got your media, your routes. So let's just go over here and push map button, Of course, you gotta agree to not use it while you're driving, so we'll just push agree. And there you go. It's a very simple layout, which is really nice because it's very easy to use. You got your points of interest, you got your menu, your time frame, and I'm not one for complicated technology, so I like simplicity. So all you really got to do, hit your destination button, and then you can pick addresses, point of views, emergency. You got tons of settings. You can pin different things, or you can also hit your home button if you'd rather do that. Set your home address, go right to it. Go back to your FM. You have displays, setups. Your display button, you can adjust your lighting. Setup button is where you can get all your voice controls, navigation, traffic, all that good fun stuff. Or we'll hit your FM, it goes right back to there. Hit your phone, and that's where you're going to start getting your phone synced up and all that good fun stuff. Lots of technology in here for a very little bit amount of money. On the steering is where you got your phone controls, your tripometers, your eco button if you want to try to save a little extra gas. Speaking of gas, this thing is really good with gas. It's 24 city, 35 on the highway. Now, a little bit more technology for you. You got more wood grain around the center console, really nice. The leather actually continues all the way underneath of here. You got your power outlets here. Obviously I've got one sitting in here already. Your auxiliary ports, your USB ports. You got another power outlet down here. Lots of good stuff to play with and charge. Seats. There is heated and cooled seats. Yes, cooled seats, people. On those hot summer days when your leather is a scorcher and you go to sit on it and burn your ass. That's right. Cooled seats, blows cold air, and you will not have burns. I love it. That is one of my most favorite features. Alright, to add to the heated seats and the cooled seats, the back seats right there are actually heated as well. So yes, your passengers can have warm butts in the winter. And one extra feature, hold on ladies and gentlemen, see that right there? Heated steering wheel. How about that? So your little fingers won't freeze in the winter either. Warm butts, warm hands, what more do you want? And in the summer, you got cooled seats. That's amazing. For a car in this price range to have cooled seats is just fantastic to me. It's great. One little extra feature, this may seem trivial to some, but when you turn the car off, as I'm about to do, the seat moves back to give you a little bit extra room getting in and out of the car. That's nice. Now, I'm 6'2", and I'm going to open this up back here so you can see. At 6'2", in my seating position, I left my daughter's car seat here so you can see there is plenty of leg room in here for her to, well, frankly, just kick me in the back when she tends to do. Please forgive the rag I got on the back seat here. But there is a lot of room in these cars. Alright guys, so I am 6'2". I'm on the passenger side, and I'm in a seating position that's really comfortable for me. But if I get out, I'm going to show you. Follow me around here. The back seat. So 6'2", I have still all this room behind me. That is a ton of space back here. So if you have tall people that you haul around in the back seat, adults like myself who are, I'll say, lanky for lack of a better term, exceptional amount of room back here. They're going to be very comfortable. Headroom, well, I'm 6'2". Got pretty good headroom, I think. But these seats are very comfortable. And you have some cup holders back here. Oh, looks like my daughter has some crumbs in here as well. How about that? But that is very well padded leather right there as well. This is, everything about this car is just so soft and comfortable. You've got some vents down here for when you Have your air on or your heat, your mat pockets, tons of space, and there's your heated seat button for the rear passengers. This car has tons of room, guys. I can't emphasize how much room this car has got and how comfortable it really is. Now, if you're worried about trunk space, first thing I'll say is sorry for not vacuuming this out first, but that is I could fit probably 5 people in this trunk. This thing is huge. If you can find a car with a bigger trunk, I'd like to see it, because this thing is a monster. One other thing I almost forgot to mention, this thing has an 8-speaker infinity stereo. This thing sounds badass. I mean, it really does sound good for a factory unit. This monster speaker up here, I'm honestly not sure if that's a subwoofer or if that's just a speaker. But then you got more over here in the corner, each corner of the dash, as a matter of fact, and the doors, and the back doors, and you even got some in the rear up there. So you want surround sound, you've got plenty. Alright guys, so let's talk overall driving impressions. I guess I'll start with the engine. This thing's got a 2.4 liter, 4-cylinder, direct injected. Produces 200 horsepower, 185 pound-feet of torque, which I know may not sound like a whole lot, but this car surprisingly only weighs 3,250 pounds, ballparking of course, and it really gets up out of its own way pretty well. A lot of that torque is down low, so you will feel it quite a bit right out of the gate. You come off a red light, you come out of a hole in any way, shape, or form, it's gonna go. I actually was quite surprised at how well this thing really does. So 200 horsepower isn't half bad. Now there is an option for more power if you like it. There's a turbocharged engine that comes with 275 horsepower. I'm not too sure of the torque ratings, you have to excuse me on that one. But my wife wasn't too concerned about having the most power. It was more comfort, convenience, and gas mileage, which is just fine. That's why we have the Nova to play with. But driving experiences, it is extremely comfortable. Like I said earlier, we've had this thing on a 5-6 hour road trip, and it's just been the most comfortable car to drive. It's very smooth. It absorbs bumps really well. The one thing I will say, if you're one of those big driving enthusiasts, is the steering is a little numb. What I mean by that is you don't get a lot of feedback from the steering wheel on what the front tires are doing. That's a little disappointing because it kind of almost feels like you're playing a video game rather than driving a car. But on the positive side, the steering is very direct, it's very crisp, the turn-in is really good. So I can't overly complain about it too much because it is, you know, a very comfortable cruising car. It's not really meant for performance. So long story short, what do I think of the car? Well, we've got about 55,000 miles on this car now, and I can't say I've got one single complaint. Now we've got kids running around this car constantly, spilling juice, my wife spilling coffee. Sorry, hon, you're not really the neatest person. I'm gonna throw you on blast right there. Yeah, there's Cheerios and food crumbs all over the seat, and yet the seats are holding up amazingly. The stitching is not ripping, the leather is not drying out or cracking at all. It's really holding up well. You know, the motor and everything are driving as good as new. I've not put anything into this car for repairs. It's only been oil changes. That's it. As a matter of fact, the brakes are still holding up really well. They have not even been changed. There has not been any acquired knocks or rattles in the dash or any of the interior for that matter. And I really have been exceptionally pleased with this car. So basically, long story short, guys, if you're looking for a car that's reasonably priced, and I'm going to say reasonably priced because we got this decked out with all this stuff in here for thousands less than your typical Ford, Chevy, or even Honda. I don't know why people tend to overlook the Kias, but they do. I really would suggest looking at one of these, whether they're new or used. I don't think you can go wrong. That being said, if you don't look at it, you're probably missing out. Alright guys, that's really all I've got on this car. Now, hopefully you enjoyed it, because I've enjoyed this car immensely since we've had it, and I don't think I could ask for a better daily driver. Tune back in for future videos. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that little bell next to it. That way you get notifications of all the new videos. And I've got a Mustang GT in the near future. Hopefully you guys can check out that video. I'm going to go probably look at that in the next day or two. Get that video up. And hope to talk to you guys soon. Alright guys, hope you got some good information out of this. I've absolutely loved this car since we've had it. Hopefully, you know, you've gotten something out of it.